going to show you a few different things in this video. I wanted to play with the stroke settings as well as the order that things are put in here. And I wanted you to get used to using comments to turn off lines you don't want to use. So I'm going to show you what I've got right now, which is we were working with drawing with radians the last time. I've added smooth and no smooth and a rectangle. For right now, I'm going to comment out the rectangle because I don't want you to see what it does. By putting 2 slashes in front of it, I can just make the computer ignore that line of code, and that can be really useful. So I'm going to test this, and I've put smooth in front of the first arc and no smooth in front of the second. And you can see the no smooth makes the lines a little bit more jagged. If I want to make that more obvious, I can set the stroke weight. Move that. And actually, I want to show you something. Smooth actually is not important unless you want to turn it off, because it's now on by default. So not having it there isn't going to change anything. It should look exactly the way it did before I said smooth. It used to be in some of the older versions of processing that no smooth was the default setting. Most people want it on, so that's the default now. So I'll put that comment into myself. Let's say I want to make this a little easier to see. I could set the stroke weight. And by the way, this is camelback notation. Camelback notation means that when we're writing programming code and we have a variable name or a name for a parameter or any sort of name, camelback means you start with lowercase and each new word starts with a capital letter, giving it sort of a hump, hence the reason it's called camelback. So let's set the stroke weight to 4. That'll be 4 pixels. And then I'm going to go ahead and run it. And when you can see now that I've made the stroke weight thicker, that no smooth is more apparent. Okay, now let's go ahead and add the rectangle to it. And why would you want to use no smooth? If you were trying to create a drawing that looked like it had been hand drawn, that would be a good option. So I'm going to stop it and turn it on again. And you can see, though, even though no smooth is on, I can put it directly above the rectangle. Stop it and play it again. The smoothing doesn't really have that much of an impact on the rectangle. But you also can see that order is impacted by the whatever order that they're drawn in. If I put the rectangle up to the top, you'll notice this is before the stroke weight is set, so it will not have a thicker stroke weight. It's going to cover up what comes after it. So stroke weight will make your lines thicker. Turning no smooth on will make them look like they're more hand drawn. And the order that you put the lines of code in is the order that they're going to be drawn. So the last thing drawn will be on top and the first thing drawn will be on the bottom. And that's pretty much it for this lesson.